Hello everyone, welcome to our class. I'm Wan Risheng from Zhejiang Agriculture and Forestry University. Today's topic is bamboo as an important writing tool and material. Bamboo is a very common plant in China, especially in the south of China. If you had been in our city Hangzhou, you could see bamboos in many places. This is Yunqi Zhujing, a bamboo-lined path of Yunqi, close to West Lake Scenic Spot in Hangzhou City. This is a bamboo garden on the campus of our university. This is the Big Bamboo Sea in Anji County, Zhejiang Province. It is not far from Hangzhou City, where we live in. Bamboo was very important and useful for ancient Chinese people, and it was widely used at that time, like flute, chopstick, basket, writing brush, and so on. All of them was made of bamboo. There are many evidence to prove how popular and common it is in the past. For example, there are lots of characters related to bamboo with semantic radical 竹字头, which means bamboo products was essential and indispensable things for ancient Chinese peoples. So they needed to create more characters or words to name them. So, bamboo had affected common daily life of them, and then had far-reaching influences on Chinese culture. Today, we just talk about the following three things that were made of bamboo: writing brush, bamboo slips, and bamboo paper, because they had huge impact on Chinese culture. Writing brush was the most important writing tool for Chinese ancient literati. The writing brush consists of two parts, handle and tip. The handle of a writing brush is usually made of bamboo, which we can find out from its archaic Chinese character. Look at this archaic character of Bi. The radical on the top is 竹字头, and it means at that time writing brush was normally made of bamboo. On the 竹字头 radical, there is a hand holding a long pipe to show posture of the holding it, according to the different hair of the tip. Writing brush normally can be divided into three categories: hard brush, flexible brush, and mixture brush. Hard brush, 狼毫 in Chinese, normally is made of the hair of yellow weasel. Flexible brush, 羊毫 in Chinese, made of the hair of goat, and the mixture one, 煎毫 in Chinese, made of both of them. This magical writing brush had brought marvelous art forms of Chinese calligraphy and painting. Look at these beautiful artistic works. They are the bridge that leads you to the inner spiritual world of ancient Chinese literati. Those artistic forms represent Oriental philosophy and are regarded as a method to culture the mind and nature. There is a bridge called Tishan Bridge in Shaoxing City, which is not far from Hangzhou City. During the Eastern Jin Dynasty, one day Wang Xizhi, a very famous calligrapher, went out and strolled on the street while he saw an old lady was selling fans by the bridge, but no one wanted to buy. He went up to her and found out the situation. Then he wrote some words and sentences on each fan and told the old lady to tell others These inscriptions were written by Wang Xizhi. The old lady followed the instructions, and these fans were sold out very soon like magic. So now you might know a bit about how popular and important the calligraphy was to the ancient Chinese people. Nowadays, students are still learning how to practice calligraphy and painting with writing brush at school. Among all kinds of writing brush, Hu brush in Zhejiang province, together with Hui ink, Xuan paper, both in Anhui province, and Duan ink stock in Guangdong province, are called the four treasures of the study, which are an important symbol of a long and splendid Chinese civilization. Writing brush from Huzhou Hu brush in Zhejiang province is listed as one of national intangible cultural heritage. They are writing calligraphy with writing brush. This is calligraphy work with writing brush by Mao Zedong, the founder of the People's Republic of China. He was also very famous and outstanding calligrapher and poet. This is the best running script in Chinese calligraphy by Wang Xizhi. He is the sage of calligraphy in Chinese history. Both of those two works were written with writing brush. Do you know how to hold the writing brush? There are many different ways to hold it for making distinctive calligraphy work. This is a common way to hold the writing brush like this picture if you are a beginner. Holding the writing brush is just the first step to learn calligraphy. You need more practices to make your writing beautiful and elegant. Now there are lots of international students are practicing with writing brush. We should join with us. Do you wonder where the ancient people wrote on before appearance of paper? Now let's talk about bamboo slips. Bamboo slips had been used as an important writing material for the longest time in Chinese history. It was the main writing material before the creation of paper by Cai Lun in the Han Dynasty. They still continued to be used as auxiliary writing materials until the Tang Dynasty. Now, Confucius was teaching with bamboo slips. An ancient scholar is reading with bamboo slips. There was a story called Wei Bian San Jue. It cited in the historic records that Confucius read the Book of Change in his old age so frequently that the strap fixing bamboo slips was fractured many times. It showed that bamboo slips were main writing materials at that time. Wei Bian San Jue is an idiom now to describe people who study so hard. Bamboo slips was an important revolution in the media. It gradually broke the tradition that only the aristocrats had a chance to read and learn. It was the first time that Chinese characters became a mass communication tool, not just circulated in aristocratic class anymore. The common people started to obtain opportunities to be educated. Bamboo slips had promoted the development and prosperity of Chinese culture. Look at those two pictures. Confucius was teaching, and he provided education for all people without discrimination. Widely used bamboo slips was one of the most important reasons for the first golden age of China philosophical thought, which was the incomparable peak in Chinese culture. That was the access era of Chinese culture during the period of number of schools was so great that the Chinese referred to them as the 100 schools. The contention of the 100 school of thought. Bamboo slips also have an extraordinary value for archaeology and history research. Bamboo slips from the tomb of the Yingque mountain of the Han Dynasty had proved that Master Sun Art of War and Sun Bing's Art of War was two different books separately from two people. Those two books had unearthed together in this tome, so it successfully solved the disputes on this issue that had confused Chinese historians for many years. This is the oldest chronological work ever discovered on bamboo slips, unearthed from a tomb of an ancient king that had provided a very different historical idea and conception from Confucianism. We know Confucianism had obtained authority position in ancient China, so this book written on bamboo slips had high historical value to help us rethink our history. Bamboo slips had cultivated special writing and reading habit for ancient Chinese people, as it was written from top to bottom instead of from left to right, because of its special and limited width. Bamboo slips had been replaced by paper as a writing material, but bamboo continued to play an important role as a paper-making material. Now let's talk about bamboo paper. After being used for years in ancient Chinese since the 2nd century BC, paper made a little impact on culture until inventor of Cai Lun managed to refine its production process, thus enable the beginning of the true revolution of paper products all across China. Cai Lun produced paper from linen, bark, net, and so on, with rich fiber. Then people realized that bamboo also had rich fiber, so bamboo became one of the important materials of paper. According to the records, the earliest bamboo paper appeared in the middle of the Tang Dynasty, but some scholars thought it could date back to the Western Jin Dynasty. Bamboo paper was mostly produced in southern China, such as Zhejiang, Fujian, Sichuan, Anhui, Guangdong, Guangxi province, and so on, where bamboo was relatively common and cheap. 时令谚语 written in the Song Dynasty said, 今天下印书以杭州为上，属次之. It means the best printed books those days mostly are from Hangzhou city, then Sichuan province. At that time, bamboo paper was widely used because of sufficient sources and cheap price. Bamboo paper flourished during the Song and Yuan dynasty. The widely use of bamboo paper had further promoted prosperity and spread of Chinese culture. Manufacturing technology of bamboo paper in the Song dynasty was very mature, and it was further developed in the Ming and Qing dynasties. Even today, bamboo paper is very common and important in daily life of Chinese people. Okay, that's all for this topic. Thanks for watching.